Mr. Wilson.
Yes, sir.
So, folks, this is the Cowboy Perspective. We're at the Texas Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association. I was talking to this gentleman.
Jimmy Wilson.
Mr. Wilson, Jimmy Wilson. Tell me a story. Tell me something.
Well, my name's Jimmy Wilson, and I live in Paradise, Texas. And I've got an unusual job that I do. I build Concord Stagecoaches.
Okay.
And I learned the trade from my father-in-law. He did it for over 40 years. His name was J.W. Brown, and he built those things. He built 60 of them in his career, and they're all over the United States and Europe. And I knew someday when I quit my real job, that's what I wanted to do, is build stagecoaches. So yeah. I put my shop together and started tooling up, and I started building coaches, and I just finished my number 10 stagecoach, and I'm working on number 11 right now. So,
who buys a stagecoach?
Well, you never know when the phone's going to ring. Yeah. I mean, I had a guy last night. The one I just finished, you're not going to believe this. I built it for Jerry Jones for the Dallas Cowboys.
Are they going to run a set of Clydesdales around the arena?
It won't be Clydesdales. That's not the Cowboy way with the stagecoach.
Yeah.
You got to hook
mules
horses
or what?
Mules, yes.
Okay, say the horses. What kind of horses?
Quarter horses.
Quarter horses
yes.
or mules?
Yes.
No
or
Clydesdale.
mules and or mules. But anyway.
Okay, so wait, time out. You got to explain that to me, because I obviously just said an uneducated thing. I picture draft horses in front of a stagecoach, but that's not how that works.
No, that's not the Cowboy way. Stagecoach is that was the Amtrak. That was the way to travel across country back in the day. And they built the Cadillac of the coach. There was different types of coaches, but the Cadillac was a Concord stagecoach, and that's the one I focused on. That's the only thing I built.
What makes it a Concord?
It's the style.
The style?
Yeah, it's the
How
style.
many people can ride
They
in
would put 9 people inside that coach.
Really?
There was 3, and then there was a jump seat, and then 3. And the 3 in the jump seat, there was a leather strap went from one side of the coach to the other, and they actually leaned back between these guys' legs. So they had 3, 3, and 3 inside the coach.
Wow. See, I'm so glad you stopped by the booth and I got to ask a little bit.
Well, I appreciate
this story.
it. I mean, it's always fun to share my story. It's something that it's carrying on the Western tradition. And you asked me who buys them. You never know. I mean, I was sitting there last night in the house and phone rang, and it was I saw the number, somebody from Arizona. And first I thought it was a prank call. This guy started popping questions about the stagecoach and do I have them and how big are they? How many people can you get? And I thought it was a prank call, and because you never know, I got a bunch of weird buddies that'll do that, you know. Yeah. And anyway, so I mean, the guy was legit. He said, "Okay, well, thank you, sir. I'll let my boss know how much they are," and he hung up. So you never know.
That's just great. Well, and I think a piece of the Cowboy perspective you're talking about that we're not saying explicitly is you took a trade from a mentor.
Oh, absolutely.
And kept building on
yes.
it. That
yes.
happens in the Cowboy world. It really happens all over the country.
Yes.
With everybody, but it's been a truth for me.
Right.
I learn a lot of everything I know pretty much from other people.
Yep. Yep.
What's your favorite part about building them?
I guess the ironwork is. I was a woodworker by trade, so the woodwork part of it was easy for me. But I had never done a whole lot of ironwork, so when I started working with the iron, I really enjoyed that because it's a lot more forgiving than wood. In iron, if you cut it wrong, you can just weld it back together and go on. But wood, if you cut it wrong, it's scrap.
New piece.
It's toast.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the iron part of the building on the running gear. There's a lot of. I sat down one night, the first coach I was going to build on my own. I sat down in my chair and I was looking at my coach, and from where I was sitting, I could count 80 different pieces of ironwork that had to be made. Yeah. So you have to make Home Depot does not stock
I was going to ask that.
Parts.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Nobody's just kicking these parts out for you. You got to make every
you have to
piece
make
of
them
it.
all. Now, I don't make the wheels. I buy the wheels from the Amish.
Okay.
They got the wheel right down.
They know how to do it.
And if you don't have a good wheel, you don't have anything. So I stick with the Amish wheels.
How long does it take for you to build one?
It depends on how much time, how much playing I'm going to do. At this stage in my life, I do it because I enjoy it, and I don't want to. I'm not going to let somebody pressure me, because then it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Then it's a job. So to answer your question, depends on how many parts I've got in stock and inventory. When I make parts, I don't make parts for one. I make parts for four, because I've already got the jig out. I've got the measurement in my mind. I've got the iron laying there. So when I make parts, I stock them. And so if my parts bin is full and I really set my mind to it, and I don't have to do a lot of hunting and fishing in the middle of there, it takes me about 6 to 7 months to get one knocked out.
Well, I was expecting a year, 2 years. I mean, it's when you start thinking about making every piece of it, putting it together, all that.
Yeah,
that's art.
Yeah.
It's art.
It
really.
is. It is. It's art. It is.
Do you have a favorite one you've built, or do they all just look the same?
No, they don't look the same. In fact, it took me 4 years to get this Cowboy coach pushed. Well, I had to get it in front of the right people. I knew the Dallas Cowboys needed a stagecoach.
Yeah.
I knew it in my heart, but I couldn't get it in front of the right people.
Yeah.
So I went down to a computer guy, and I took a picture of my stagecoach, because I have a floor model, and I said, look, turn this in digitally to a Dallas Cowboy, their colors.
Right.
They got their blue, they got their
silver,
gray, they got their silver and white, and that's it. That's all you got to work with was their colors. So I thought, oh my gosh, how can I make this? This is going to be an ugly coach, but it turned out it's.
I could already picture it
it's
being
the crown
beautiful.
jewel.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Stars here and there on the panel.
Not too many. You can't overdo it and turn out looking like a circus wagon.
Yeah, right.
But it's got just enough of that scroll work and the stars on there, and I've got up on above the doors says Dallas Cowboy Express, and it's got leather pleated interior, diamond tufted headliner. It's awesome. They still haven't decided where they're going to put it. We've hooked it 3 times to horses, and I brought it back because they wasn't sure whether we was going to put it in the stadium or whether it's going to put it at the Star.
Yeah.
So it's still at my shop right now, which I don't care because I like showing it when people come by.
Sure.
So anyway, that's my story.
Awesome. Thank you so much for stopping, sharing, being on the Cowboy Perspective. Real quick, how would somebody get a hold of you, or you just want to keep that kind of quiet?
No, I don't mind putting it out there, but I have a website. It just says J. Wilson Stagecoach Works.
Okay, J. Wilson Stagecoach Works. Everybody go check it out.
That's it.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.